this team makes me hate the sport. Oh, welcome to American Blues Podcast. This is your host, Harry Lee. Let's talk about Arsenal 5, Chelsea 0. I had to wait a whole day before even having the motivation to make this video because, I do this for fun. Like, I love the team. I love the club. And generally, Chelsea has made me very happy over the last, 2 decades that I've been watching the game. But, man, this game that I just watched was a complete disgrace. It was shameful. And I had to go back deep into my memory to try to think, have I ever seen a Chelsea perform this bad? And my answer was no. And I felt validated when I heard that this is actually the worst loss against Arsenal since the 1930s, which means there's barely anybody still alive who's seen a Chelsea performance this bad. And there's just almost no positives. No positives. I mean, I suppose Petrovic had a few good saves that kept us in the game the first half, but that was it. I don't have a single positive thing to say. It was a disgusting game to watch. It was horrendous watching the entire team just give up, from the coach to the captain to every player to every sub. Nobody wanted to be there on the field. Nobody played for the club. Nobody played for the badge. And it's just, this is the indictment of the complete failure of the club right now, from very top to bottom, from the recruiters, really from the ownership to hiring, the recruitment team, the sporting directors, down to the players themselves on the pitch today. Everybody should hold themselves in shame. This is what I never want to see a performance like this ever again. And I think there has to be consequences. I waited a day to kind of have everything settle. And I saw Pochettino's post-match comments of, let's not blame the players. But then who are we going to blame? Are you taking the blame then as manager, overseeing the absolute worst Chelsea performance in the history of the club? Are you? I mean, if you are, then I think you should resign. I think why wait even to be sacked? Just resign. Just say, I'm not right for the club. The players aren't playing for me anymore. Just leave, because your tactics didn't work yesterday. Your substitutions were an absolute fucking joke. And the players on the field, man, rarely have I seen any team completely give up on the field. I feel like I'm watching, is this what United fans have felt over the past decade? Was this what Arsenal fans felt before the last 2 years when they got beat, 5-6-0? It's horrendous. It's hard to find motivation to keep watching this team when they don't show any passion on the field. So it's not even worth going over individual moments. The team was just not there. Every Arsenal player around every plate had time to get the pass, look up, take a turn, find their next pass. And this was even in our box. Kai Havertz had the time to receive a pass, do a turn, look up, still realize that Badiashile wasn't closing him down, and take a shot. And like any professional player, if you're in the middle of the 18-yard box and nobody's guarding you, you're going to score a goal. I mean, just as a pro, that's the minimum. That's you see that in children's leagues on weekends. If you leave a child in the box, they're going to score. And so I don't understand. There was no game plan going into this today. There was absolutely no fight. There was nothing. There was nothing. And there's so many players on this team right now that it gives me no joy watching. That's mainly Mudryk, Enzo this game, Badiashile, who's legitimately who's become one of the worst defenders I've ever seen in terms of defending, positioning, passing. He seems to be doing none of it. And why Pochettino decided to play him and then keep him when he was by far the worst defender, I have no clue. I would say if anybody can hold their head high, I think Caicedo always works really hard every game. I think Cucurella worked his ass off this game trying to mark two people all at once because he had absolutely no help from Mudryk or Sterling on that side. And then I suppose Jackson for still continuing to do his runs, try to get the ball, sure, but then, still make one of the worst 1v1 attempts. Like he has a collection of horrible 1v1 misses, and he just constantly adds them. And this is different than like when Fernando Torres kept missing goal after goal in 1v1 and open goals. At least Torres seemed like he gave a shit about the club, and at least Torres had some pedigree before joining the club, and I don't think I ever saw match going fans turn on Torres, but man, this team, hard to watch. And I suppose it comes down to management, like why are we always worse in the second half? Why did we come out worse in the second half here? Why did you not make any changes until we were 4-0 down? Like, you don't need to be a professional manager to make a change at 4-0 down. Like, and pick anybody from the crowd. They can make changes at 4-0 down. The time to make a change was at halftime when we were played off the park the first half. We barely survived 1-0. That was the time for a change, and he couldn't do it. Everybody in the stadium, everybody around the world that was watching the game could tell that Barisha was not on it. Disasi was not on it. These two combinations, they were just never going to work. Our midfield were miles apart from each other. Nobody was closing down the ball. Like, he could have used all 5 subs, and it wouldn't have not been enough during halftime, I would say. But ultimately, there's no point making changes at 4-0. Why are we putting on more defenders? Why are we going to a back 3 when we're 4-0? So we can protect a 4-0 or a 5-0? Yeah, great. Fantastic. It makes no difference to me losing 5-0 versus 10-0. Like, at that point, the game has already gone. The team has already given up. So, like, it does not matter. I would say, Pochettino, if you took any traveling fan from the crowd and substituted them on the field, they would have shown more life during that game than the players did during that game. And if your only comment after the game is, I don't want to blame the players, then sorry. Like, there's got to be some standards left at the club, and this isn't it. This is not it. This is an awful game to watch. It makes me absolutely despise the sport when I have to watch a game like this for my own club. And it's just embarrassing. Like, I feel embarrassed to be a Chelsea fan. The players should be embarrassed that they're getting paid money to play a game that they clearly don't care about. Like, if you don't care about the club, if you feel like you joined the wrong club, then just cancel your contract. Go somewhere else. There's plenty of teams. You're young, you're talented. There's plenty of teams that will have you. But like, our recruitment, my God, if this was not a wake-up call for you, that this plan is not working and it will never work, then I don't know what to say. I suppose all I can say is for Clear Lake and Boley, who spent a lot of money investing to club, I hope this was worth it for you guys, because your investment so far is going nowhere. You're never going to make a return on investment like this at this club if this is your plan. Yeah, just zeros all around. There's no tactical analysis of a game like that. It's very simple. We weren't there to play. That's it. Peace.